The future of humanity may lie in the domain of machines and cybernetics. What if we could break through all the boundaries that hold us back? Part 1. One through line of science fiction cinema that particularly interests me is the evolution of technology from external to internal. Films like Kubrick's 2001: A Space Odyssey in 1968 showcased titanic applications of tech, like the rotating space station and the extensive computer banks that form the cyber brain of HAL, the onboard AI assistant. But gradually, technology became more personal.
I've got something I want to play for you.
I'm writing and recording this on a laptop in my apartment. Medical advances gave us pharmaceuticals like antidepressants and birth control, along with cochlear implants and gene therapy. But persistent questions emerge. Does modifying the body change the consciousness? Does humanity diminish as modification increases? I started by creating a prompt for ChatGPT. I can ask it to generate chords and a melody for a lo-fi track in text. With Google Colab, I can run code written by nobody in the computer to convert ChatGPT's text to a MIDI file. Nice. Looks like I'll need to create some variations. Part 2. The film for me that best encapsulates questions about cyber enhancement is Ghost in the Shell. The Major is a hybrid, an android who possesses a ghost made up of her memories, her sense of self, her consciousness independent of the shell she inhabits. By the time she merges with the Puppet Master, she has become more than a human piloting a superhero tech body. She has become a new sort of organism, engaged in a co-evolution with technology, no longer separate, but whole. Using Google's AI Test Kitchen, I can generate pretty convincing lo-fi clips of about 8 to 10 seconds. I'll only be using the beats, so I'll use the Moises machine learning algorithm to separate out the drum part. Nice. AI in our world is still far from the level of Ghost in the Shell. Melanie Mitchell, researcher, professor, and author of several books on artificial intelligence, is clear-eyed about the specific shortcomings of machine learning as it stands. In her talk at the Santa Fe Institute, she says we are in a period of enormous AI hype, which of course is undeniable. AI is being credited with the destruction of the world, the saving of the world. It's assumed to be replacing just about everything you can imagine, and perhaps may acquire supernatural powers. However, we often overlook that AI fails to understand our world in extremely non-human ways.
They make mistakes. So here's a paper from 2017 showing that a deep neural network that's learned to recognize objects extremely well on this ImageNet data set, like a school bus, and it's recognizing it with 100% confidence. That's that 1.0, saying, I'm totally sure that's a school bus. Okay, good. But if you take those objects and you Photoshop them into weird poses, it turns out that now it's 99% sure it's a garbage truck, 100% sure it's a punching bag, and pretty sure it's a snowplow. So this paper is called Neural Networks Are Easily Fooled by Strange Poses of Familiar Objects. Turned out there was many things that you could do to fool neural networks.
When I import the MIDI file from ChatGPT, I can already tell that there are problems. Each section is 3 bars long for some reason, and this melody is not very exciting. I'll need to clean this up a bit. And the drum loop starts slightly ahead of beat 1, so I'll have to trim that before I can loop it. The last step for me is to use the AI mastering assistant in Logic Pro, and to add dynamic tape saturation with the Tape machine learning emulation plugin. Philosopher Daniel Dennett is summarized in an interview in The New Yorker. We experience ourselves at the level of thoughts, decisions, and intentions. The machinery that generates those higher order properties is obscured. Consciousness is defined as much by what it hides as by what it reveals. There were more steps here than I could show. Test runs, small decisions, mistakes, undos. Sometimes I think I can tell that I'm conscious because I question my choices. I experience conflicting feelings about my past errors, dream about sounds that haven't occurred yet. I like to take the advice of the creature in Ted Chiang's Exhalation. Contemplate the marvel that is existence, and rejoice that you are able to do so.